My dog ran away last year, and it was one of the worst experiences of my life. If you're a dog person, you know that if your dog were to ever disappear, it would absolutely wreck you. For me, the scariest part of this story when I lost my dog wasn't even when he went missing. It was when he came home. I was alone at home, watching TV in the living room when my phone started ringing. The call was coming from an unknown number. I had put my cell phone number as the contact on all of the flyers I had put up for my missing dog, so I assumed that this person was calling me about that. I answered fast. "Hello?" At first, there was only silence, then heavy breathing. Then they spoke.
"This is Rebecca, right?"
"Yes, who is this?" I stood up and started pacing the room nervously. "Are you calling about Buster? Are you calling because you have my dog?" He was quiet once more, and then he hung up. "No!" I was desperate to find Buster, so I called the number back, but they didn't answer. "Jerk," I said. I thought he was playing some sort of sick joke on me. He probably saw the flyers, but didn't have a clue of where my dog was. After a few minutes, my phone started ringing again. "Hello?"
"Come to the door,"
he said.
"You're right. I have your dog."
A chill went through me. Something definitely wasn't right with this guy. I went to the window next to the front door and peeked through the curtain. I didn't see anyone out front, and there was no car parked on the side of the street. "Who is this?" I asked. "What's your name? Where's my dog? Where's Buster?" He was quiet again. "If you're messing with me, this is a sick joke." Silence. And then he answered.
"You went to the wrong door, Rebecca."
My blood ran cold. I immediately locked the deadbolt over the front door. There was only one other door in this house he could have been talking about. The back door. I went through the living room into the little hallway that led to the back door of the house. The door was shut, but it wasn't locked. He spoke on the phone.
"I've got your dog, Rebecca. Don't you want to see Buster again? Come on, open the door for me."
The doorknob started to turn. I broke into a run down the hallway and flipped the deadbolt shut. "I'm calling the police," I yelled at him. "You better leave right now." I hung up on his call. I was about to dial for 911 when I heard my dog whimpering on the other side of the door. "Buster?" This man had my dog. This man that tried to get into my house, he had my dog. I went to the kitchen and grabbed a knife. I went back to the back door where I heard Buster whimpering and pawing at the door. The fear inside me was turning into rage as I went to the door and unlocked the deadbolt. I threw the door open and raised the knife, ready to take on whoever this man was. Buster came running inside the house. He got behind me and cowered. "Buster!" Before I could bend down to pet him, the man came around from the other side of the doorway. He was dressed in all black with a black ski mask on his face. He tried to barge his way in, but I slammed the door on him and pushed my body weight against it. He got his arm inside. He reached for me and tried to grab me. I stabbed him with the knife. He screamed and backed away, giving me time to slam the door shut and lock the deadbolt. No one messes with my dog. I grabbed my phone off the floor. I took Buster and I raced away from the door. We went to the living room where I called the police. It only took 10 minutes for the police to arrive at my house, but all they found was a trail of blood leading from the back door and out of the garage towards the road. I still don't know if this man took my dog in the first place, or what he was going to do if he had gotten inside the house. But I know now, I will never let anything happen to me or my dog again. I was home sick from school. I stayed on the couch for most of the day, and when I had finished whatever homework assignments I had to, I connected the living room TV to the internet so I could jump online and watch free movies. Now, I know using pirate websites for free movies can be a dangerous move, but I stay very well aware of which sites are okay and which are dangerous. However, during this afternoon while I was home alone, I made the mistake of opening a link I shouldn't have. I remember I had just opened a soda and set it down on the end table next to the couch. I popped a cough drop in my mouth, sat on the couch, and used my phone as a remote to go to the free movie website on the TV. But before I could continue to the website, a link popped up on the screen of my phone. The link came with a message. User R492 wants to send the following message. And then there was the link. Now, I was aware of virus links from hackers, but I had never seen anything like this. I still didn't click on the link though. There was an exit button on the top right of the message, so I moved my thumb there and pressed down. But it turned out that pressing any part of the message opened the link, and because the TV was connected to my phone, the link opened on the TV as well. "What is this?" I asked. I watched the TV as a picture of what looked like a basement came on screen. There was a single chair in the middle of the basement, and there was someone sitting in that chair. The footage was blurry, but I could tell the person in the chair was wearing only underwear, and there was a bag over their head. The light in the video was coming from off-screen, a bright white light like something they might use on a studio set. This can't be real, I told myself. This has to be a scam. I stood up off the couch and slowly approached the TV. On the screen, someone walked into the center of the basement. They were carrying something in their hand, a power drill. "No," I said under my breath. My stomach started to churn and I felt sick again. The man pressed the trigger for the power drill and it started working. He brought it towards the person who was trapped in the chair. I couldn't stand it. I ran to the bathroom down the hall and threw up. After a few minutes, I came back to the living room, expecting the worst. But on the TV was the free movie website. Whatever sick video link was there before was gone now. "I'm just sick," I said to myself. "I'm crazy, that's all." But then my phone started ringing. It was an unknown number, so I didn't answer it. But a few seconds later, I got a text from the same number. The message was strange. "What exactly did you see, Dustin?" I almost dropped my phone. My thoughts started racing. This was a joke. It had to be some sort of prank. I texted back, "Who is this? What are you talking about?" The number answered immediately. "Forget what you saw, Dustin. We know who you are, where you are. We know your friends and your family." And then, that same number sent a photo. It was of my school ID. And they sent another message. "You didn't see anything on that TV, did you, Dustin?" I didn't answer them, and they didn't call back. Part of me felt like I should just keep quiet, but my instincts told me these were some sort of hackers and scammers that did this to other people. Nowadays, anyone can hack your information and find all sorts of things about you. When my dad got home, I showed him the message and told him what I had seen on TV. We're still working with investigators to try and find who had done this, but it's unlikely we'll find them. Hackers can hide their information in all kinds of ways. I have a new phone now, and we even switched out the televisions in the house. We put up extra cybersecurity around our online stuff like banking and social media. To be honest, it's terrifying now that people are able to break into your life without even physically breaking into your home. I just hope whatever video I saw was fake. But then again, you never know. I moved into a new house with my husband. We were just married. We moved into a little house on the edge of a suburban town. And to celebrate, my husband bought us a little husky puppy that we named Jewel. My husband worked odd hours at a factory, so there were some nights he was gone all night until morning. What happened to me, one of the scariest moments of my life, happened on one of those nights. I was watching TV on the couch in the living room. Jewel was at the back door in the kitchen, pawing at the doggy door we had installed for her. The doggy door was only 2 feet by 2 feet, built into the floor with a heavy plastic flap over the opening. I went to the door and pet Jewel on her head. "Come on, girl, you're big enough. You can get through it. Come on." I crouched down and pushed the plastic flap open a little so she'd know what to do. Jewel jumped through, barked a few times, then hurried out into the yard to take care of her business. I stood up and looked through the window near the back door. Our yard was fenced in, and beyond the fence were some thick and tangled woods. I liked it out here, but sometimes it felt eerie. It was quiet, and relatively isolated on our side of town. I saw Jewel come scampering back to the door. She jumped right through the doggy door, wagging her tail excited and proud. I picked her up and hugged her. "Good girl, Jewel." Later on that night, I was drifting asleep while watching TV. Something startled me awake. It was Jewel. I heard her whining at the back door, right before the doggy door. She whimpered like she wanted to go out, but she wouldn't get any closer than a few feet from it. I went to the back door and used my foot to push open the plastic flap. "Go ahead, girl. Go outside. You know how." She looked at the doggy door, but she whimpered and backed away from it. "I guess you're still scared of it," I said as I picked her up. I brought her back to the couch and set her in my lap. I turned my attention back to the TV while I pet her on the head. It wasn't long before I started to nod off again. It must have been about an hour later. I woke up, and Jewel was gone. The TV was set to a screen asking if I was still watching the show I'd been watching, and the house was silent. Something didn't feel right, though. I sat up, and I checked my phone. It was almost 1 a.m. "Jewel?" That's when I heard the jingle of her collar, and I sighed in relief. "Jewel, you scared me there for a moment." I stood and stretched. I turned off the TV. "Come on, girl, let's go to bed." I turned towards the kitchen, expecting her to come running from around the corner of the doorway. I heard her collar jingling, but she didn't come running. "Jewel, what are you doing? Come on, girl." I walked to the kitchen doorway. "Let's go to..." But Jewel wasn't there. There was a man's hand sticking through the doggy door and into the kitchen. He held her collar, and he jingled it at me. I froze. I had never felt this kind of terror. I couldn't even breathe. The man started calling to me outside the door. "Come here, girl. Come on. Come open the door for me." My instincts finally kicked in, and I ran from the door. I grabbed my cell phone off the couch and ran to the front door. I slammed the deadbolt locked, and that's when I saw someone standing outside through the glass window in the door. They wore a dog's mask, and they were dressed in all black. They started tapping softly on the glass. I heard the jingle of Jewel's collar from the kitchen. There were 2 of these psychos trying to get into my house. I ran down the hall and into my bedroom. I found Jewel there crying by the closet. "Jewel!" I picked her up and I ran into the bathroom. I locked the door. I held her as I called the police. "Please, help me. There are 2 men outside my house. They're trying to break in." I stayed locked and hidden in the bathroom, and by the time my husband got home, the house was surrounded with cops. Apparently, there was a murder in the nearby neighborhood. These psychopaths had tied up a woman, then took turns doing terrible things to her before taking her life. They would have done the same to me if the cops hadn't shown up. We filled in the doggy door and got deadbolts installed on every door. We even got a security camera system installed so we can monitor the whole house. But after all this, we still don't sleep in our old bedroom anymore. Not after we saw what the police found after I got attacked. What the police found, when they searched the house after the attack, was a message. It was written on our closet door. And along with the message, They found a cell phone on the closet floor. The cell phone had belonged to the woman these psychos killed before coming to my house. On the phone were pictures. Pictures of me that night, sleeping on the couch. They were taken by someone who was inside the house the whole time. On the closet door, the message had been written in blood.
Not all of us were outside.